applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Hello everybody, hello. How's everybody doing today? It's your boy Vaughn. We're back with another episode of RBO. We're here to talk about these playoffs, man. We're all the way down to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's been pretty exciting. We have the Knicks out. We have the Cavaliers that got put out, and we're on to the final showdown here in the East. Before we get started, I would like for everybody to like, subscribe, and share this with anybody that is a huge NBA fan, one that, you know, loves to talk about the playoffs and the grittiness and things of that nature, because that's what we're about to get into for sure right here, right now. Sad. I feel sorry for Knicks fans today, man. It's kind of like how I felt for the Philadelphia fans earlier this year when Embiid went down. But hey, you win some, you lose some. But also, there's a link down low for you guys to become a member. Join the R2L family, man. We have different chats on Instagram that covers different sports. In those chats, you get live debates, you get live updates on trades, on any type of rumors, really injuries, something wild, crazy happening. You get recaps on games because you have a lot of diehard fans of each team, and they're like mini reporters for each team. So, like we have, I'm a Magic fan, and I got another guy that's in the chat. He's a Magic fan. We're like the Magic insiders. We know all about the Magic. We got Heat fans. We got a Bulls fan in there. You know, we got a Kings fan. So just dive in, check us out. We also have a parlay chat. We have NFL, baseball, pretty much every single sport. Just click the link down low, become a member. You could become a superstar member. You could become a pro member or all-star member as well. Just dive in, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. We also have a lot of different shows that cover different sports, because Refuse to Lose is not just everybody having their sports show. We are a whole network here. We all work together to just get better, because what do we say? We refuse to lose, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. But today we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to go to the East. Tonight we have the Celtics versus the Pacers. So we're first going to talk about their round 2 series. You know, the Celtics taking out the Cavs and the Pacers taking out the Knicks. And then we're going to dive right into the matchup tonight. Before I get started on that, though, I want to shout out my boy Jalen Suggs. 3rd year in the league, his first all-defensive team. He made the second all-defensive team. Shout out to Jalen Suggs, man. Go Magic, go. Orlando Magic. Oh. So, let's do this. First thing we want to talk about, man. Let's go to the Cavs versus the Celtics recap. Man, I'm not sure what's going on, man. Everybody's getting injured. Everybody's getting injured. You know, first round, we had Embiid coming back, fighting through injury, but then Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks to go down. You know, Jared Allen from the Cavs, he went down. And then you get Donovan Mitchell getting hurt against the Celtics. Now, to be honest, nobody had the Celtics losing to the Cavaliers, But when you have a guy like a Donovan Mitchell, he's a guy that can actually win you a game or two. As you saw, they end up winning game 2 behind Donovan Mitchell. That first game they lost. He had a great game scoring wise, and I challenged him to get his teammates involved. And it's crazy because he did that. He did that, and they ended up getting the dub. But then the next game they lost, and he didn't come back after that. The last 2 games they was without Donovan Mitchell. So it's really hard to be honest, it's really hard to judge this East playoffs because it's just been a lot of injuries. It's like one side, the Pacers has been running against. It's like the Pacers have the injury guys on their side, and then the Celtics don't have the matchup guys on their side because the Celtics had injury guys too because the Miami Heat didn't have Jimmy or Terry Rozier. Then they go against the Cavaliers, and Donovan Mitchell gets hurt again. However, the Celtics were the favorites to win both series. It's still crazy because, when the playoffs come, you want to see teams at their full strength. You want to see teams give it their all. You want to see teams put their best lineups out there and compete because throughout the season, you get a glimpse of everything. But when the playoffs start, that's when it's really nitty-gritty, and it just sucks what happened. But no one really had the Celtics losing to the Cavaliers, even with Donovan Mitchell. I know I didn't. The one thing about this Celtics team, everybody has been involved. Everybody's been involved. Jason Tatum has shown that he's a well-rounded player. He's pretty much led the team in every stat, I believe. Yes, he led the team in every single stat. He's even turnovers. Sorry, I'm just kidding. He did lead in turnovers. Him and Jaylen Brown's tied. Only 2.5 though. But he's really showing us like LeBronish playoff run right now. He's not asked to do a lot. A lot of people was questioning where's Tatum at. Even me, I was asking where's Tatum because there are going to be games when your team is not hitting because this team does live by the 3, die by the 3, especially at home. The game they lost, they died by the 3, and Jason Tatum. Those are the games where you want to see a Jason Tatum take over. Him being the best player on the floor, that is what is asked of you. That is what you have to do. You have to force your will at times. You have to just demoralize guys on the other end by your shot making ability, and he's an excellent defender as well. So, like when Donovan Mitchell's going off, I want to see a Jason Tatum go over there and take that assignment. And because a lot of people, Mamba mentality, been hearing that Mamba mentality. If y'all go back and look when Kobe Bryant was in the playoffs when he had to go against Deron Williams with the Utah Jazz, Russell Westbrook with the Thunder, CP3 with the Hornets. Who was checking them? Not Derek Fisher. It was Kobe. Kobe checked all those point guards because he knew if these guys could do what they want, it's going to be tough. Because when you have a great guard like a Donovan Mitchell, he can get his shot off at any time. But if he's able to get everybody else involved, it can be curtains. And the Celtics saw that, when a team is playing with a lot of confidence and their star players balling and they can defend, that's tough. That's a tough team to beat. But Jason Tatum, I'm looking to see you do more, as the playoffs go on. Derek White took over against the Miami Heat. But really, it's not really much to say about the Cavaliers series. Like I said, I feel like this Celtics team has kind of been on cruise control all playoffs. They haven't really had to, do much, to be honest. They played teams that both teams they played were injured. The Cavaliers wasn't as injured. They had my boy out there for majority of the game, except for the last 2 games. But the Celtics aren't as battle tested this playoffs, and I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. Because when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and Derek White not hitting 8 threes or Jaylen Brown not going off, and what's going to happen? Are we going to see Tatum step up? We have seen him step up. I believe it was game 4. He had a big game for them. I got it here. Yeah, it was game 4. It was game 3 and 4, actually. He had 2 big games, 2 30-point games back to back. But the most impressive thing I like about Tatum is his rebounding. He is definitely hitting the glass hard, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Oh, shout out my man Mike. He is a Celtics fan. Mike, let me know, man, if you want to come on at any time, man. Definitely would love to have you and Teddy on to talk about this. You know, we have 2 Celtics fans in the chat, and we have 2 Pacers fans in the chat. So hey, let's make it a party. But this Cavaliers team, man, it's time for some changes. I think the Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell experiment is over. It seems like Garland plays better without him. That's just how it looks. You know, these are 2 smaller guards. So on the defensive side, it doesn't hurt them as much because they do have 2 7-footers back there with Mobley and Jared Allen. However, I just think their offense will flow a lot better if they get rid of one of those guys, you know. Because Donovan Mitchell is a 2, but he's like a combo guard. He can really run a 1 because he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's not that tall. He's not that tall at all. But it sucks to see a guy like Jared Allen hurt. Then, you know, Karis LeVert didn't even play 1 game. It's, you know, that's why I preach a lot of things like, you know, teams have to learn how to build a whole team. You can't rely on 7 guys. You just can't. I mean, that time in the NBA, you know, I'm not gonna say you can't. I'm just say it's best to have a 10-man, no, not even a 10-man rotation that you use every game, but you have to have guys that you can throw in just in case. Because when you got guys like Donovan Mitchell, you got guys like Jared Allen, you got guys like Josh Hart, Brunson, playing all these minutes. Yes, a lot of times when they got hurt, it wasn't because they were just overly tired. You know, it was some crazy injuries. However, when you're tired, you don't move the same. When you're tired, you know, your body, your muscles, you know, you can't react to everything like you normally can, to be honest. Trust me, I know. I hoop. You know, I'm not in the NBA or nothing, but I noticed a difference in my body if I play 3 games of pickup basketball versus playing like 6 games of pickup basketball. Like my shins be hurting sometimes. It's like, bro, you're overworking your body. So I encourage teams, and also on the flip side, I encourage players to really strengthen their bodies, to really, you know, get in the gym. Guys like LeBron, guys like even a guy like a Jimmy Butler, you know, he's him and Brown a little later on in their careers, but early on, Jimmy Butler was the Iron Man. He was the first person I think Tom Thibodeau had playing every single minute in the playoffs. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see, because injuries is like, that's like the theme of this playoffs for real, injuries. Only series that wasn't impacted a lot by injuries, it was I'm going to say the Nuggets series and OKC series. However, Jamal Murray did suffer an elbow injury, I believe, early in Game 6 when they got blown out. But he was playing bad already. So, but we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, that's the Cavaliers, man. I believe there's gonna be some changes over there, though. I think either Mitchell or either Mitchell or Garland might be gone. I'm gonna put my money on Garland because I feel like a lot of teams are going to be looking to get Mitchell, like the Lakers, you know, teams that really are trying to compete and get over that hump. As far as the Celtics, I got more about the Celtics coming up, but we about to slide over. We're going to slide over to the Pacers in the next recap right quick, all right? Man, my boy Jalen Brunson. I was hoping to see him in the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Celtics because I thought that was the type of player he is. Well, I know he is that type of player. He's meant for big moments, for the big stage. You want to see him. You want to come to the game to see a guy like a Jalen Brunson. You want to, because this guy plays so hard, man. That's the number one thing I love about him. He plays super hard. He gives it his all. When he's out there, he's fighting. You know, the team believes in him, and he believes in himself. You know, I was talking to a good friend of mine. He's a Knicks fan, and he was talking about his moves. I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real. Out of all the point guards in the league, when it comes to their moves, like their bag, Kyrie number one, then it might be Brunson. I'm not gonna lie. Brunson, offensive bag is crazy. And he got the size to back it up, the size to move guys and get to his spot. So Brunson will be back next year with a force. I think the Knicks are going to move on from Randall because, look what you were able to do without him. Despite injuries, you could be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. You could definitely be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. But they end up taking the L to the Pacers. This Pacer team, man, they've come a long way. I remember talking about this team early in the year, and I was saying, yo, this team can score with the best of them. This team can score with the best of them. This team just has to learn how to defend. This team has to learn how to be physical, attack the glass, because on the offensive side, they money. I'm going to keep it real. They are money. When I say money, they're efficient. They get their shots up. They attack. They move the ball well. They led the league in assists this regular season. And when they made that trade for Pascal, I said that this move is going to help them in the playoffs because Siakam is a champion. Siakam is a guy that can score. Let me just say this. He's a guy that can affect the game in different ways. He can score, defend, rebound, and he can facilitate. And you need guys like that. You need, most of the teams that win, you got to have at least one guy out there that can do that type of stuff. Like when the Warriors won, they didn't have one guy. It was more of a two-guy thing with Draymond and Wiggins, kind of. I'm going to give, but they also had like a Jordan Poole off the bench giving them buckets. Last year with the Nuggets, you had Bruce Brown doing that for them. That is who he is for this team. That's who he is for this team. Now, Siakam is a little better than those guys because I believe he's all-star talent. He's not a superstar, but he is an all-star talent. The Knicks, man, I feel bad for them, to be honest, because I feel like they were the better team. I feel like they would have won this series, barring injury. But, a lot of people are jumping on Tom Thibodeau for overplaying his guys. And I'm a little 50-50 on it, to be honest, for real, because, these guys wasn't complaining about playing. Of course, they were tired at times, but they did not complain about being out there. They love their coach, Tom, and they won games that way. They was winning. Josh Hart out there playing every minute. Brunson playing about 42, 43 minutes. What else they going to do? When the playoffs come, most teams do shrink their bench. However, I feel like early in the playoffs, Thibodeau could have did his team a service by playing Alec Burke more, playing Bogdan. Well, Bogdan, he was getting his minutes. I'm not going to say that. They could have played Alec Burke a lot more, though. Having a guy like OG that can play the 4, guy like Josh Hart that can also play the 3 or the 4, I feel like that would have gave him a lot more flexibility because say you sit a guy like Brunson down, you put a guy like Burke in, you put a guy like Deuce McBride in with Bogdanovich, then you throw in Josh Hart or OG, and you got big men out there. I think he should have used his bench a little bit more, but when, like I said, I just said it before, the top teams, I think the better teams are the teams that are able to go at least like 9 deep. A lot of teams go like 8 deep. For example, if you look at this Celtics team, okay? Let's go to this Celtics team. Their last game against Cleveland, right? Porzingis is out, by the way. Let's just always remember that. They went 8 deep on their bench, okay? Game before that. Come on now. Pop up for your boy. Sorry, y'all. I'm on the liquor store down the street. I'm using their Wi-Fi. It's like, nah. 8 deep again. See, a lot of the best teams go 8, 9 deep. You know, the Knicks, what did they do? I believe they went like 7 deep, if that. Then they went like, yeah, it was the starting five. And then they had Deuce McBride coming off the bench, Precious coming off the bench. And then eventually they started putting Alec Burke in. So they did go 8 deep as well. So this Pacers team, they go like 10 deep. Let me see. This team go like 10 deep, y'all. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. My bad, y'all. My Wi-Fi tweaking. Wi-Fi off. Like, feel like Jamal Murray game 6 in this joint. All right, here we go. All right. Pacers, last time they played, they thought like blew them out. However, this is every game. They play everybody every game, y'all. So this team plays 1, 2, 3, 4. They go 9 deep. But then they pretty much go 9 deep. Which segues me into the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Now, the Pacers versus the Celtics. Nobody thought the Pacers would get here. So I'm gonna shout out my boy Ty. I'm gonna shout out Dave, Tony, Dave's brother as well. I'm gonna shout both of them boys out. Those are Pacers fans. Ty, this is Ty's second year as a Pacers fan. He's already in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go and give him some love. Go and give him some love, man. Give him some love. So, in the regular season, this team seen each other 5 times, and the Boston Celtics won that series 3-2. Pretty close, right? A couple of those games that they played, only one game actually, Siakam was on the team, which was the last game. And one game, well, I think 2 games they played, they didn't have Tyrese Halliburton. And all 3 of those games, one game they ended up losing, and one game they ended up winning. But the last game was Pascal Siakam. The Celtics won by 5. Now, I think this is going to be a good matchup. A lot of people think it's going to be a blowout, maybe, or the Celtics in 5. Like they've just been rolling over everybody. Not sleeping on the Celtics. They have that ability. Don't get me wrong. Because if they come to play and Tatum comes to play, it can get ugly. However, I just love the way this Pacers team play. I love the fact that everybody touches the ball. I love the fact that everybody is in attack mode. I just love that about this team. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes, it can get in their way because you get guys shooting ill-advised shots. But without a guy like Porzingis out there, the Celtics really don't have no rim protection. I mean, you can say Al Horford, he can't get a couple blocks. Jason Tatum has been their rim protector, to be honest. And Derek White is an excellent shot blocker, too. But no guy no Porzingis. Porzingis is an elite rim protector. Like, he can really guard the rim. And I see that without him, I think that the Pacers will, they're a team that gets up and down. I think they will be attacking the glass. They will be getting their shots up. To be honest, these teams are very similar. It's like the Pacers are the Celtics. They just don't have the same, like their caliber of players aren't that well. They aren't that good two-way players, or they don't have the same caliber of superstars on their team. But both of these teams are very good on offense. Both of these teams are very good at shooting the 3. Both of these teams move the ball around pretty well, and they get up and down the floor. The only difference is the Celtics team is a lot better on defense. They have a lot better two-way players over there. The Drew Holidays, Derek White, even Tatum and Brown. Those are pretty good two-way players. But I think strength in numbers is the Pacers' superpower. The Celtics have shown they have a lot of issues with a lot of point guards, elite point guards. You saw early in the year, LaMelo Ball got a dub on them. I think Trae Young balled out and got a dub on them. And then we saw Donovan Mitchell go off. Even Tyler Hero had a game round one. So Tyrese Halliburton, man, you got to be the best version of yourself, especially this series, man. Your team is really going to need you. This team isn't like the other teams you played so far, bro. Like the Bucks team isn't as good offensively or defensively as this team. And then the Knicks team, you know, their offense is really Brunson or die, and then like Devo and Josh Hart hitting threes. But this Celtics team, they have a lot of guys that can contribute. Jaylen Brown go out there and give you 30. Tatum 30. You've seen Derek White take off a couple games. Even their bench players can come off the bench and give you 20. So I believe this series is perfect for the Pacers in this way. They just played the Knicks, which is a very scrappy team, a team that attacks the glass very hard. I love what I saw out of Miles Turner. Like as the series went on, it seemed like he got more aggressive, protecting the rim, attacking the glass. You know, he's good for a couple of threes a game. But I feel like this is going to come down to effort, man. The Celtics are, you know, Teddy said it all year, man. We need a rebounder. We don't fight for rebounds like we need to. Well, the Pacers have shown the ability to do that, you know, especially playing the Knicks team. That's going to bring that out of you because if you don't rebound against the Knicks, they're definitely going to beat you. They were saved by the injuries. Don't get me wrong. I do want to give them some love still, though, because you got to perform, you got to execute in order to get here still. And that's what they did. For this Celtics team, I think that Tatum is going to have to really dominate this series for two reasons. I feel like there's going to be I feel like the way the Pacers play, like they're like them kids. You know how you play a kid, you know, and they don't get tired. They just keep coming. And it's like, bruh, that's what the Pacers remind me of. Like, they just keep coming, bro. No Diddy for everybody that's in the comments wilding. But they just keep on attacking. They keep shooting, keep getting shots up. Like, Tyrese Halliburton's out there. He come down. He runs the show. If he's on a fast break, you know, he can find guys. He can pull the three. But then he sits down. TJ McConnell comes in, and he on 100. Like, he just pressing full court, going like, this team is crazy, man. But if any team can neutralize them, it's the Celtics, man. They have defenders at each position. Their bench. Now, that's what's going to be key, actually. This Pacers team has one of the best benches. Well, actually, maybe one of the best benches in the league. I ain't giving you that, Ty. I ain't going to give it to you because, you know, I got something. My Magic got something to say about that. But in this playoff, they definitely have been looking like the best bench in the playoffs. You know, TJ McConnell just broke a record. I think had like 40 assists and 0 turnovers the whole series off the bench. And that's elite right there. So I think the biggest challenge for the Celtics is, can their bench match the Pacers bench? Because we know their starting five is really their bread and butter. For the Pacers, their starting five gets it done. However, their bench is crazy. Their bench, it kind of reminds me of, on a lower scale though, of the Warriors bench back in the day. And that bench used to run it up on people. And that's what happens with the Pacers. If you go back to the Knicks series, it's like every time the bench came in, they just brought a different type of energy. So keys for this series, bench play. Are the Celtics going to match the Pacers' intensity from the bench? Physicality. Are the Pacers going to match the intensity physically with the Celtics? Can they handle the physicality? Because that was a big question mark against the Knicks. Yeah, they got past the Knicks. I just gave them praise for that. However, like I said, they had injuries. OG Anunoby didn't play. Well, he played 5 minutes, I think. Josh Hart got hurt. You know, Mitch Robinson, they didn't even have him the whole series. Then Brunson fractures his hand. we don't even know how long he's been hurt, to be honest. You know, shout out to Brunson for that. He's definitely a soldier. And then Tatum. Is Tatum going to dominate this series? You know, he dominated the last series on a lower scale by like doing everything, pretty much leading the team in every stat, you know. But everybody's going to have to defend against this Pacers team. This isn't, you know, the Cavaliers who more of a defensive team. This is a team that's more offensive, and they're going to run and gun and get their shots up. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun series. First game is tonight in Boston. Boston, the best home team all year, had the best record in the regular season. They did lose 2 games at home so far in this playoff. So if the Pacers can get hot from 3, watch out, Celtics. You know, you are known to dive out of 3. Let's see what y'all gonna do, man. You know, I'm excited to see this game. Let me know in the comments who y'all got. Who y'all got winning the series. You know, I'm not gonna pick a winner. I'm just here for a good series, to be honest. I'm just here for a good series. I just want to see great players be great. Is Tatum going to step up to the plate and be who he is? Is it Halliburton's time? You know, I talked about him being one of the best players under 25, and look at him, man. You know, he's not dominating, but he's definitely being the point guard that his team needs. He does a lot of chirping, so them Boston fans gonna be ready for that for sure. It's crazy. You go from playing the Knicks, one of the most hostile environments, to another hostile environment. So shout out this Pacers team. They're a young team, but they're going against the favorites right now. So they got to bring their A game for sure. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. You know, I just wanted to touch on that, preview the Pacers and the Celtics. You know, I want to say this too. Aaron Nesmith, he was formerly drafted by the Celtics, but then traded. So we're going to see how he performs. He might have a little chip on his shoulder out there. I'm a big fan of Nesmith. Plays hard on both ends of the floor. He's an excellent shooter, but defense is really what I like from him. So, yeah. But let me check out these comments. Joe said facts. Vaughn didn't see fatigue as an issue in any close game they played. Yeah, man. I didn't either. You know, they still was on the glass. We're talking about the Knicks here, guys. They were still on the glass, attacking heavy. Brunson never looked tired. You know, I agree, Joe. And he said, Joe also said, if I can show it, and let me show it. I don't know what's going on. But hey, let me shout out these shows right quick. There we go. He do be chirping, LOL. Talking about Tyrese Halliburton. Yes, he do. Yes, he do. Pacers play with high energy, which is a weapon. Yes, Joe, I definitely agree. I totally agree with that. Their superpower with their strength in numbers. They get up and down. They get their shots up. And the Celtics gonna have to match that intensity, which I believe they can. They have the players to do so. You know, they have guys at each position that can pretty much guard. Their starting 5 can pretty much guard 1 through 4, all of them. But Tatum is probably the only one that can guard 1 through 5. Because Miles Turner is a 5, but I can see Tatum guarding him, to be honest. Especially McConnell and Nesmith. Yes. That's what I say, man. Halliburton be out there running the show. And then McConnell come out there, he on the 100. He pressing full court. He pushing the ball, getting in the paint, putting pressure on the defense. That's like their number one weapon, just putting pressure on you. Attacking, getting shots up. You're going to have to get some stops against this Pacers team in order to win. And the Celtics are well equipped for it. So that's why I think it's going to be a great matchup. I do like that the Pacers did pick up their intensity on the defense and rebounding, especially Miles Turner. So it's going to be fun. All right, let me get to these shows right quick. Since Joe in the comments, let's start with Joe. Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. Joe is a Kings fan. Yes, he's a Kings fan. The season ended, and he does anything about the Kings. He just recently had a show, I believe, like last week or maybe 2 weeks, when he was talking about the offseason, the guys that he thought they should pick up, guys he thought about the guys he thought they should let go, and the guys he thought they should keep. And the number one person on that list is Malik Monk. You better keep him. But that's Kings Talk with Joe. Subscribe, especially if you're a Kings fan. Definitely subscribe, because that's somewhere you can definitely vent. We got Carl Talking College, CTC Carl. He covers college basketball and college football. Just recently had a show. Check him out. We have In the Red Corners, a boxing show. We have Ricky. We have Ty. And now we have Tomo on the show. That's our boxing show. So definitely check those guys out. Very, very informative show. Especially if you don't know much about boxing and you're trying to learn, check these guys out, man. We have Dave's Doghouse, where he talked about, the dogs this week. If you're a dog, have you been balling? Have you been doing what you're supposed to do? Or have you been slumming and you need to be in that doghouse? So trust me, you don't want to be in a doghouse. You could be a coach, player, fan. You can just be a guy walking down the street. If you did something crazy, Dave throw you in that doghouse. Definitely tap in with Dave. We have another show we have is Fantasy Football with Coach, FFC. He pretty much breaks down, what's happening in the NFL world, how it impacts teams, how it will impact your fantasy. So if you want to be ahead of the curve, definitely tap in with Coach. I mean, he brings the energy every single time. I see why they call him Coach, because every time I watch the show, I be trying to go play some football. I ain't even gonna lie. All right, next we got Baseball with Teddy, BWT. Teddy is a heavy baseball fan, but diehard Yankees fan. We call him the baseball guru. Tap in with Teddy. He pretty much knows it all when it comes to baseball. He used to play. He coaches now. And if you're a Yankees fan, he breaks down every single series for you. So definitely tap in with my boy Teddy. Then last but not least, we have the main show, Refuse to Lose show with Joe, Tomo, and Dave. They pretty much touch on any sport, every sport. If there's news to be talked about, they're going to talk about it. So tap in with those guys. You will not be disappointed. You definitely won't be disappointed. And this is Real Ballers Only, man, with your boy Vaughn. I really enjoy having you guys in the comments. Shout out Joe. Shout out my boy Mike. Share this with anybody, yo. Let them know the Eastern Conference Finals here. Who y'all got? Because I know who I got. So I ain't got nobody. I'm just a fan of the game right now. To be honest, I have no dog in none of these fights. The closest dog I have will be Kyrie, because he's like my favorite player in the league. But other than that, man, I just want to see some good basketball. I mean, the beautiful thing about this, though, y'all, is we getting a new champion this year. There will be a first-time champion this year. And it's a beautiful thing. Out of the 4 superstars left, well, when I say superstars, I'm going to say the best players on their team, because I think Kyrie is a superstar. Tatum, Luka, Hallie, and Ant-Man. One of those guys are going to get a ring, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And that's what they said. They said every year is going to be somebody different, and it's been that. I believe the last time we had a team go back-to-back to the finals was LeBron. No, it was the Warriors. But once LeBron left, nobody else did it. So the Warriors and Bron, the last 2 to do it. That's interesting. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Do I got any more comments? I think that's all. I hit them all. Yes, I did. But tune in. We're definitely going to have another show tomorrow. We're going to go to the West Side. We're going to the West Side. We're going to talk about the Timberwolves, how they got over the hump against the Nuggets. We're going to talk about OKC and the Mavericks, how they took that L to the Mavericks. And then we're going to talk about the game 1 for the Western Conference Finals, Minnesota versus the Mavericks, which is going to be a doozy, I tell you. Hey, shout out my boy Kevo. He knew he just heard me talk about his Mavericks. He heard me say I ain't got no dogs in the fight, but the closest person I'm gonna root for is Kyrie. Hey, Kev. I'm still grading Luka on a heavy scale because he's supposed to be the best player in the playoffs right now. So, hey man, I want to see it. I believe in his skill and see what he gonna do. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate everybody that was in the comments. You know, like I said, I'm back tomorrow. I'm guaranteeing y'all this week I'm doing one show every day. Okay, I got y'all. We locked in. But appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. This is your boy Vaughn. And always remember, real ball is gonna ball. Peace.